So Quentin Bischness has done it again, making another dud, that is. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to speak about the latest version of Le Sal d'Issey, which is the salt of Issey. We had the Eau de Toilette, I think it was up to a year ago when it was released. That's a marine aquatic salty fragrance that kind of utilizes salt and algae and all these kinds of stuff. And actually for me it was kind of like a boring thing from Quentin Bischness. I don't hate the guy, but I think the guy is very, very talented. I'm just getting bored with his iterations for every perfume house and what he does. I have the feeling he does exactly the same. I think I mentioned in the last video where I have talked about Le Sal d'Issey and how boring it is, especially when it's the first fragrance after 30 years or 40 years, which was the next line after L'Odyssée, the amazing L'Odyssée from the 1992 or 1991. And since then they just had flankers and flankers and flankers and flankers to death of L'Odyssée, and they never had like another man line that can actually justify itself. So you were waiting for something amazing. And the iterations of L'Odyssée, I wouldn't call them other man lines, you know, it was just flankers and flankers and flankers trying to capitalize on the shape of the original bottle and the original name of the bottle, because the original L'Odyssée was such a success and such a different thing in the market and one of the greatest men perfumes ever. And Le Sal d'Issey is made by Quentin Bischness. Now we have the Eau de Parfum version, which was not disclosed if he's the one behind it. So if he's the one behind it, I'm very sorry, Quentin. But yeah, I don't like it. It's even worse than the Eau de Toilette. Now I have to explain so you won't think I'm hating on Quentin Bischness. I think the guy is really, really talented. I also saw a documentary of him when he was really young, a BBC documentary on perfume. If none of you have watched that, try to catch it on here on YouTube. It's I think it's a 4-part, 6-part series, very short episodes about the industry of perfume, and it's very interesting. And you can see him when he was young and chose into Givaudan without any experience because he showed that spark. And I do agree that the guy is very talented. I think there is something very similar and very unfair maybe in the way I criticize him, and that's because I feel he's doing the same thing over and over again, and I will explain. To me, Sal d'Issey is like Quentin Bischness going to the sea. And since Ganymede, it was after Ganymede basically, I feel that everything he does kind of touches Ganymede and is the same like Ganymede. So we can see Quentin Bischness going to the sea, Quentin Bischness going to Egypt, Quentin Bischness going to the Orient, Quentin Bischness going to a summer festival, and all these perfumes that he releases for very different houses, especially Kenzo, which I mentioned, the new versions of Kenzo Homme that smell exactly kind of like the same like Le Sal d'Issey, just very, very strong, you know, or maybe kind of the same. They have this same synthetic note that kind of like overpowers everything, this marine salty, mineralic, kind of like metallic thing that you can smell in each creation that he delivers in the past couple of years. And a perfumer that did the same thing is Jean-Claude Ellena, that has an obsession with geranium, rose, and kind of like grapefruit. And you can see that Jean-Claude Ellena throughout his years in making perfumes is always coming back and making versions and exploring the world within grapefruit and geranium and rose and black pepper actually, and also cardamom. These are the notes that Jean-Claude Ellena uses a lot. You can see it in Cartier Declarations, you can see it in Prof Samarkand from Hermès, you can see it in many Hermès creations. Actually, you can see in Frédéric Malle with Rose Cuillère. There is a DNA to all of it, and maybe it's just because I prefer the notes over there and their treatment than what Quentin Bischness is doing with this synthetic mineralic metallic thing, but I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like the way it smells. To me it smells very cheap and overpowering. The minute you use a perfume from Quentin Bischness, it's everywhere. And some people are looking for that, and that's fine. It's just not my thing, but When I smelled Los Aldise, the new eau de parfum, it just hit the shelves very, very fast without any notes. Many people will say it smells the same like the original, and that is true. It has the core of the original in it, but it stinks. And I will explain. It smells on first spray, I mean, it has the same core, but they added incense and a type of amber. And this type of incense and amber at the first stage makes it smell kind of like reminiscence to 1 Million to me for a few seconds, which is a perfume I despise. I mean, it stinks to high heaven. And then it kind of smells like apple bubble gum or something like this, like a bubble gum, and then it turns into BO. And it smells like really severe BO, and not the good type where you, ooh, it's sweaty, I want to lick it. No, not that one. It's really stinky. It's like a BO of somebody that hasn't washed for a few days and then changes clothes in a humid, hot weather. And it transforms into a weird metallic BO burger finger kind of thing where you ate a burger and you had all the mayo and ketchup and mustard and the smell of the beef and the onions on your fingers. It gives me that kind of vibe. And then it settles down to the original, but always there is this synthetic amber, weird BO kind of thing on it. And in that sense, I guess many people are looking for such a fragrance today, because a lot of fragrances today that use ambroxan, they smell exactly like BO. They smell dirty, not in a good way. They smell like dirty with a perfume and very intrusive to your nose, at least for mine. When you have ambroxan in a fragrance, it's just like everywhere. And it's a trend that I cannot wait for the world to overcome, because I'm so tired of smelling perfumes with ambroxan because they fucking stink. Anyway, the eau de parfum seems to be a little bit more subdued in performance to the original. The original really stays and stays and lingers and projects like crazy. It's not a bad perfume, the eau de toilette, like the original. I mean, it's just not my type, but it does create something very salty and mineralic. You know, I would just like to see different interpretations of what is a marine fragrance. I think that somebody who came close to it was in Tom Ford's Mineral Oud. Many people will differ. I mean, the original version, it was very harsh for many people, but it was something that used a different take on a mineralic, oceanic, marine kind of fragrance, where we had like what is called the father of all marine fragrances, that was Kenzo Home, the original one, that used calypsone, this watermelon extracted peel kind of thing that kind of smells like the sea and gives it that vibe of something like wet rocks and algae. But a lot of people seem to be keen to Los Aldisi. I'm not sure that the eau de parfum will be such a success, or many people will think it's such a great thing. I think many people will appreciate the eau de toilette more in comparison to the eau de parfum. The eau de parfum smells to me like something unfinished. Which, come to think about it, there's a lot of fragrances from Quentin Bischness that feel to me unfinished. Maybe it's on purpose, maybe that's his footprint, I don't know. But it always seems to me like there is something that doesn't give it like a frame or an oomph, or closes it down in a certain way. But the eau de parfum projects less than the eau de toilette, yet if anybody of you is like interested, it's office safe. And the amber and the incense, their use here is really weird. It's really weird. I don't know. It smells really odd to me, really funky and like BO. And I've tried it a few times because, you know, your nose is not like at its great every day. Sometimes you are a bit congested, sometimes not. So I tried it a few times in very different stages also of the day. And it smells to me like, yeah, it stinks. It really stinks. But yeah, I would like to see something from Issey Miyake that will be a little bit more enthusiastic and less money grabbing. Like, give us something new, something that we haven't smelled before, because this house, that's what it did in the 90s. And I really think that, come on, just like finish this Ambroxan terror, you know, and give us something new, something, I don't know, exciting. This was my review of Le Salle d'Issey Eau de Parfum. If you liked it, please don't forget to press the like button and subscribe. It helps me a lot. And I'll see you soon. Bye.